Welcome back to Arc Salt Lake here at 8:30. We cover authentic, relevant, and community stories. It's alive! Well, sort of. The Bear Lake Monster has been in Utah folklore since the 19th century, and now it has an official marker noting the existence of the mythical creature.
Does that mean it's real? Well, we have Jeannie Thomas and Melissa Anderson from Utah State's Folklore Studies program, and you guys took part in making this sign a reality. So putting up this awesome sign, who started the legend of the Bear Lake Monster?
Melissa?
The Bear Lake Monster, there's a couple of origin stories, but the one that the sign really talks about is Joseph C. Rich. He migrated north from the Salt Lake Valley to Garden City area and had a couple of the first stores there. And that's really where we have the first written account. He sent a letter to the Deseret News talking about the Bear Lake Monster.
Now, there's some talk that there was a 2002 sighting. That's according to Wikipedia. So, what do you have to say about that?
I personally am pro any Bear Lake Monster sightings that come around. I love a good story. And I am Jeannie Thomas. I'm a professor at USU, and I mentored Melissa, who did all the research and wrote the grant to get this marker put in. And we partnered with a group called the Pomeroy Foundation, which provides different kinds of historical markers to promote cultural tourism and local communities. And we really try to work with our students on developing skills that they can take outside the classroom. And so this becomes a line on their resume and a way for them to practice what we're preaching in the classroom.
So you learned to get the grant and get it all actually put in place, and now people can take selfies with it and look for the Bear Lake Monster, right?
I hope they report sightings to us so we can document it.
Okay, so what all did it take to get that sign in place? You kind of touched on that a little bit, and why did you want to do this specific sign?
So I'm not originally from Cache Valley, and so the Bear Lake Monster seemed fun and new to me. I also was surprised at how many locals didn't know about this story. And what it took was a grant, and I had never written a grant before. Turns out I love it. But the grant required research, learning about the origins of the story, how people are interacting with the legends now, and then also getting a release form that says that we could put a marker in somebody's property. We were so grateful to Brad and Jane Davis who let us put that marker in their front yard.
That is so cool. Now, it says that it's Utah's first legends and lore sign. Does that mean there are more to come?
Yeah, I make my students do this. So it's a class assignment that they have to work on these, and then they can choose to submit or not. So we submitted one about we've got the Menden May Day on deck. Hopefully, maybe some of these will get through. Cache Valley Rendezvous. So we've got some other cool ones coming up that we can promote and celebrate local community history. And I just wanted to say a neat thing about Jane Hodges Davis. Her family was one of the original settlers, and they knew the Rich family. And so I think it's very appropriate that the sign ended up in front of their property.
Oh, yeah.
And they connect nicely back in that history. And they still have that good sense of humor that I think their ancestors had, because Joseph was such a trickster. In fact, he ran a general store, this was in Idaho actually, where he had a prophesying hen, and he would write invisible ink messages and predictions and scriptures on the hen's eggs. And his dad, who was an apostle, finally got mad at him and said, hey, we need prophecies coming from the proper church authorities, not the hind end of a chicken, so stop it.
Oh, okay. How long has the sign been there now?
The sign has been there since maybe the end of April. The ribbon cutting was at the end of April.
So what's been the response from the community?
The response from the community is good. It's right along the walking trail, and there's a bench there, and there's a view of the lake. Melissa did a lot of leg work and phone work and communicative work to find a place for the site. So I was super proud of her for sticking with it.
Okay, so what kind of reaction do you expect from coming into the summer now, heading into Memorial Day weekend? What do you hope this marker brings? Curiosity, selfies? Do you want to be Insta famous?
Melissa, your sign.
I hope one of my main goals with it is just getting the word out that folklore exists and there are fun stories. Folklore is a great way to learn about ourselves and the area around us and others, and so this is a great way that people can learn about the Bear Lake Monster just by enjoying the lake and being in Garden City around the water.
So how are you going to feel if there really is a Bear Lake Monster?
And we're joking about it.
Oh, I'm totally open to that. And one of the things that we're learning now are something called fossil legends. And I think Melissa may even research this more, but we're finding that some of these stories in native cultures dovetail accurately with fossil accounts. And I can't help but think, we're really close to all those major fossil finds like in Kimmerer, Wyoming.
Yeah.
So you just got to wonder if there could be some link there, and that's fun to think about. So these stories can help promote community identity. They can take you into local history, in the last couple hundred years, and they can also take you into deep time and deep history. So they're really fun and fascinating to think about.
Yeah,
how
that's
it all
cool.
started.
Yeah, there's just a ton of value there to the folklore, and
fun.
we really appreciate you preserving that folklore. And the next time up at Bear Lake, I'll search that out.
Let us know when you get another sign up, ladies.
Yeah.
Will do.
Okay. Thanks so much for joining us
see you.
this morning.
All right.